Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about how to stop caring about what people think about you and how to increase your self-confidence. So let's jump right in. So before I even start, I just want to ask you guys, do you trust yourself? I know some people are like, hell yeah, I trust myself, right? I mean, who wouldn't? And others are probably like, yeah, I trust myself at work, but not in like personal situations or like relationships. And others are just like, nah, maybe I could work on trusting myself. If you were to ask me earlier this year, do I trust myself? I probably would have been like, hell yeah, I trust myself. Without a doubt, I trust myself. But now that I'm like, slowly, thinking about it and trying to be honest with myself, I think I could have worked on my trust with myself. So today I'm going to be touching on self-trust. Self-trust is very critical, especially when you're talking about life, anything in life, in terms of confidence, in terms of doing what you want to do, in terms of becoming an entrepreneur, in terms of anything that you want to do, losing weight. It goes with self-trust, right? Self-trust is the trust that you have for yourself. It's a trust that you have to hold yourself accountable and to make key decisions within your life. And this is important just because we've lived our whole life relying on validation, like from middle school to even like when we were kids. You do something good, you get dessert, you get like a pat on the back, like, hey, you got good grades, you're gonna get a present. You get outside validations in terms of like something that shows that you're doing a good job, you're on the right track. But self-trust is a little different, just a little bit, just because you don't get that validation. That validation is inside. No one sees it. No one sees that you're actually doing something. You're actually accomplishing what you want to accomplish, right? So self-trust goes with, like, let's say you make a promise to yourself that you're going to start eating healthier, or like, let's say simple, you're going to start drinking more water. No one's really there to really check on you, to check if you're drinking your water or doing the things that you say you're going to do. You're the only person that knows truly what you want to do. And you're the only person that's going to hold yourself accountable. So think about this. When's the last time you've made a promise to your best friend or even your boss? You said, hey, I'm going to do this for you at a certain time. How many people here, 1,000% of the time, make sure they make that a priority just because it's a self-reflection on them, just because they want people to think good about themselves, just because someone is counting on them and they don't want to let them down? I know I'm one, right? So you want to analyze that and take that within yourself. So when you make little promises to yourself, you want to hold yourself accountable. You want to put yourself in the same category. You don't want to disappoint yourself. But how many times have you said, I'm going to do this, but like, maybe I'll push it to tomorrow. Like no one's gonna know, right? At the end of the day, it's just drinking water. I'll do it tomorrow. It's just walking to the park. I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow turns into the next day and turns into a few weeks, turns into a month. And you never get to do anything you actually want to do. So this goes to show that like you actually going with what you want to do, like actually holding yourself accountable and tracking what you're saying to yourself and actually keeping those promises will both increase your self-trust within yourself. You're going to be able to make key decisions within your life, right? And two, you're going to be able to actually accomplish the little goals that you want to accomplish, right? And it starts little, right? You're not going to be a millionaire or entrepreneur, or you're not going to do what you want overnight. It's going to start with the little things. It's going to start with you building that trust within yourself, just the same way that you're building trust with other people so they can trust you and go to you. Also, another key thing I want to analyze is about decision making. How many times have you ever questioned like, hey, should I wear this, or should I take this job? You always like know the answer truly within yourself, but like you're always inclined to ask someone else. Like you want to ask your parents, you want to ask your friends, you want to ask somebody just for validation. You want to see if the decision you're making is right. So let's take this back a little. Let's just analyze it a little. So I ask, let's say my key person is gonna be Mark. I don't know a Mark in my life, but let's say it's Mark. Mark here is just, a basic, regular individual who's been, lived in America their entire life. They don't really know much about me, but you know, we're friends, we're good friends. I trust Mark pretty good, you know. Let's see what he's gonna say. I'm gonna ask him, hey Mark, should I take this job? Mark's opinion is gonna be comprised with 3 factors. The first factor is gonna be his fears and insecurities. The second factor is gonna be his experiences. And the third factor is gonna be his values, right? So his fears, he could fear anything in the world. I don't know, right? His insecurities, I don't know either, right? His values, I don't know much about it. And his opinion or his experiences is way different from mine because I have not lived his life. I know my values, I know my experiences, and I know what I fear, and I know my insecurities. So for me to, let's say a basic question, hey, should I take this job offer? For Mark, it's gonna be way more, like his opinion is gonna be like, hey, is this a good job? Is this a good opportunity for you? Or like it's gonna be just comprised with factors according to his perspective. And from my perspective, it's gonna be comprised with, do I like this job? Is this something I see myself doing? And let's add a third person in here. Let's add my parents. So not many of you guys know me, but I'm from a different country. I was born in Kenya and my parents are from there. So the culture, the environment, the state of the country is way different from America. So if I ask my parents, hey, should I take that job? They're more inclined to be like, how much does it pay? Is it gonna offer you financial security? Is it something that you can rely on? Is it something that's gonna be reliable to give you a job or to like make it a career? Just because in their country and what they've experienced is way different from what I've experienced. I'm more inclined to do what I love doing, to do what I just enjoy, right? It's not gonna be about money for me, right? Because yes, I have lived a privileged life, but for them it's gonna be like, hey, is this gonna be able to pay your bills every month, right? Is this going to be able to, like, you know, put you in a good place financially and make you live a good life? Because we don't want you to struggle. That's their mindset towards me, because they know how tough it is. They have those experiences in the back of their mind. But for me, it's way different. So just keep in mind, I'm not saying don't listen to anyone, but every single opinion that you do hear, whether it's a friend, whether it's a parent, whether it's a teacher, a boss, it has those 3 factors in there. So you have to be willing to sit down and evaluate, hey, is this something that I want to take into account? What is making them make this decision? What is triggering this decision? But they truly don't know what's going on within your life to even make that decision for you. You're the one that knows what's going on. You're the one that's going to be able or going to have to make that key decision and going to live with it at the end of the day. So what I'm going with is, 1, you're the driver to your own life. You have the driver's seat. Don't ever for 1 second let anybody else drive your seat, because at the end of the day, whether you mess up and you end up in a situation you don't want to be at, you know how you got there. You know what turn and what route you took to get there, and you know how to turn back, and you know how to get yourself out of that. You know what messed you up. So if you do let everybody else make your decision, you're not going to be able to break it down. You're not going to be able to know how you got there. You're just going to be sitting there wondering, hey, like, how did this happen? You don't want to ask those questions. You want to be like, hey, I am accountable for this. I made these decisions. I got myself here, and I know how to get myself out of here, right? I want to leave this video off with, at the end of the day, like, we've gone through increasing your self-trust, but self-trust takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not something that you're gonna flip a switch and it's just gonna be like boom, like, you know, it happens. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take a lot of like accountability. You want to wake up, like, you want to be comfortable with your own body. You want to be to the point where you can set goals or you can say something about yourself and you truly believe it's gonna happen. You want to be at the point where you can rely on yourself. You can make the key decisions within your life, because at the end of the day, no one's gonna make it for you. And if someone is making it for you, you want to evaluate that. You want to take control, because at the end of the day, it is your life. Live it. If you like the video, please comment, subscribe, and also hit the bell button down below, and stay tuned for more.